having been talking about things that I've learned through my lucid dreaming practice here recently, I thought I would share a recent lucid dream I was having that first of all highlights what a typical lucid dream for me can tend to be like, but it also highlights how I can get certain pieces of information or insights from my lucid dreams that has the potential to be really cool and mean a lot, but then it also has the potential to mean absolutely nothing at all. So anyway, on this particular night, I was going to sleep and I could tell I was ready to fall asleep quickly. I've also been doing this whole red reishi sleep aid experiment thing here, so I was taking it on this particular night. But anyway, conditions were right. I was tired. I could tell I was going to fall asleep pretty quick. But then for reasons outside of my personal, what I could do personally, there was other things going on in the room that were keeping me awake. So that was kind of bothering me. So anyway, I do end up falling asleep, but I go straight into a dream where I'm dreaming about trying to fall asleep. So in the dream, I'm in bed in what appears to be my bedroom, although it ended up looking a little bit different. And there's a party going on at our house. So I remember thinking like, damn it, there's a party going on. I don't want to go out there, but I should go out there to go mingle a little bit and then tell everybody, hey, see you later, I'm going back to sleep. So I go into the living room, mingle around a little bit, then I go back into the room to try and sleep. Then as I'm trying to sleep back in the room, people keep coming into our bedroom to use the bathroom and stuff, and that was really bothering me because we'll have a lot of parties and stuff around here, and for the most part the whole house is wide open. People and kids can go wherever they want, but some places are like off limits, such as our master bedroom. So they're coming like 2-3 times, and then after it comes in on like whatever the second, third time, I'm fed up with it. I'm like, man, I gotta go out and tell these people, hey, leave my ass alone, I'm trying to sleep, don't come in the room, it's off limits. So as I'm getting up to go to the door opens and there's another dream character or person about to walk into the room. And I get pissed off. I'm kind of like telling this person off, and he's like, oh, all I need is the insulin. So he reaches around to grab some insulin that's on like this, a cabinet that's nearby the door. And I remember thinking like, oh, okay, it's just the insulin. Maybe you really need it. I feel kind of bad. But then as that thought's going on, I realized, wait a second, we don't have insulin, right? What's that doing in the room? End up getting lucid. So, like that clicks in my head as a person grabs it, turns around to leave, and they shut the door. And so I ended up following the dream narrative a little bit, and this is actually something you're typically not supposed to do, because if you continue to follow the dream narrative that's going on once you get lucid, it's a good way to lose your lucidity. However, pretty often I like to kind of follow the same general narrative even when I am lucid. So I'm still feeling kind of bad about telling this dream character off. Also, this was another part of it about why I felt bad. So at this party, like Jake Paul of all random people was there. And I remember thinking like, I yelled at this guy, and then like maybe Jake Paul would think I'm a dickhead, even though Jake Paul's kind of a dickhead anyway. So that was another reason why I felt kind of bad and wanted to apologize. So anyway, I'm getting lucid, still wanting to go apologize to this dream character. I come out feeling kind of bad about it. And then one of the cool parts was like in this particular dream, like once I came out, I felt like I had the full support and love of like all the different dream characters around there. So I'm kind of walking through trying to find a guy. I can't see him. They tell me, oh yeah, he's in the bathroom crying of all things. So, I go to the kitchen to get to the bathroom. I apologize to him, fix that one part of the dream. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm lucid. See you guys. I'm out of here. I leave, go out and fly off. And then it was nighttime, but as I'm flying off, it's daytime all of a sudden. So I'm just exploring the dream space, trying to find, fun stuff to do as I typically do in my dreams, because most of the time, even though this is something you should also totally do in your lucid dreams, is you should have a pre-played plan of action, a pre-planned of action that you want to follow. Anyway, I a lot of times don't, so I'm just flying around the dream environment looking for something to do, and I see this lady on this kind of like platform that's like looking towards this big cliff mountainside. And so I see her, she looks interesting, and then as I'm flying to go check her out, I know that what she's doing is she's like watching the cliffside for like big major landslides. So I land, I want to ask her like, oh, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? And she pulls out this big like pirate style looking glass thing to like, kind of like show me what she's watching, on this mountainside. Then as we're doing that, the platform that she's on and I'm on with her now too, lifts up and it starts kind of like flying over the mountainside so we can see different parts of it as she's showing me things. Then as I'm looking at it, like the whole mountainside starts to glow and shimmer, and then like the plants are shimmering like a little bit more than the rocks are, and then this lady that I'm standing next to, she's extra shimmering. And then the insight that I got from it, as kind of lame as this is, but nonetheless it was like, oh, everything is alive. Like of course the people and the plants potentially, but even like the whole mountainside. And so I took that in the moment to mean like, everything around us in the waking world is also alive. Although looking back on it now, it's just how I'm kind of like, I'm very doubtful in my thinking. I'm thinking like, well, of course everything is alive in the dream space. It's all being generated by my mind. But anyway, this didn't even last that long, so I didn't get hung up on it for that much. So as we're continuing to flap over this mountainside, I see this trail going down. It has like all these like S-turns and switchbacks. And then I see all these tire tracks going through it. And I realize that people are mountain biking down it. I think, oh, you know, that's awesome. That looks like a lot of fun. That's something I want to do right now. So then I look up the mountainside, looking up towards the top. And now all of a sudden there's all these like, it looks like snowboarding runs, but they're all like paved. And there's, you know, countless bikers, hundreds of bikers riding down this mountainside. And they're not riding like bikes. They're actually riding like as if they're snowboarding, going down. I think, oh, awesome. I want to do that like right now. And so as we're going up it, there's like a jump coming down, and this guy on a bike run hits the jump, and he starts flying towards it, and he's like going to hit us because we're kind of too low. And then by this point, for whatever reason, now the platform that we're on is kind of, we're still looked to be on the same platform, but it's flying like a helicopter. So I remember thinking like, oh, we got to pull back. So it starts kind of pulling back and trying to gain altitude as this guy jumps towards us. And then I look back at the guy, instead of being like on a bike, he's on like a snowmobile now, but he's actually not even on it. He's like detached from it, flying towards us. So we pull back just enough to avoid him. And then by this point, I'm thinking, okay, this thing is getting kind of sketchy. I just want to hop off this thing and, you know, get the fun part of this dream going right now. So I jump off the platform, and then instead of trying like to get onto a bike, I just like squirrel suit down the mountain, but like really close to the ground, having to avoid the trees and stuff like that. So I zoom down the mountain, doing basically that whole deal. Get down to the bottom, I'm in like this big grassy field, and the dream didn't end there. I don't even think my lucidity ended there, but then by the time I like went up to, in the morning, and this dream was actually also close to, right after I fell asleep, so it's really early in the night, and I don't like to journal, anywhere at any point during the night. So I woke up later on that same night and had to try and commit this to memory. Then when I came up to journal it in the morning, I forgot what happened after that. So, you know, that's all I can relay to you guys, but nonetheless, that's a typical example of how my lucid dreams can kind of tend to go, and also kind of highlights how you can get these insights that can seem, you know, decently impactful and potentially meaningful within your dreams, but, you know, it doesn't always necessarily check out. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, until the next video, keep your lucid dreaming practice legit.